Okay, so the very first thing I do at the beginning of every Shaco game is ping for my teammates to come stack this bush right above red buff. Often people will try to invade you, trying to ruin your clear. So just calling for a stack here is a really good way to get a free pick, even a free sum, and at the very least, it can help protect your box setup. Since it was very clear by my teammates that they were not going to rotate for this stack, I just asked for the 120 Raptor ward and put the box down in the corner so that they can't walk in, or at the very least my teammates will have time to rotate. That box will slow them down. Hopefully I can preserve my setup if they do decide to invade. So even though it's full clear meta, I do decide to set up so that I can level 3 top here. Main reason I do that is because it's Aatrox into Nasus. Aatrox is a pretty good snowballer. He can be really aggressive with a lead, and I'm sure everyone's played with a Nasus who's behind. They can be pretty dog, no pun intended. So I do decide to go for this level 3 play. I am asking my Lux to please put a Raptor ward because I'm also trying to look for an opportunity to invade this Karthus and put him down early. I know he doesn't have flash. He only has exhaust, so he's really susceptible to my ganks. However, this is Emerald, so no teammates move to try and help me track the jungler, so I'm just on my own here. This is a pretty bad Raptor clear. This should not have taken me so long. I put the boxes down poorly here. I also canceled an auto, so just don't mind. My first clear was a little bit jaggy here. I like to save my smite for Krugs when I'm doing this clear because I have found that if you smite red buff, your Q isn't even up in time to jump over this wall, so it's not even an effective way of clearing. So I always save smite for Krugs. I should be panning my camera to top a lot more. I do see that he's just pushing in, so I'm deciding not to go for this gank now. I'm trying to think about if Karthus is here. There's a really good chance he started blue, and I know that, but since I've got lane prio in top lane, I do want to look to see if maybe I can get a pick on him at his blue. I sit here for a second because I see Triss is coming, so I just make sure that she is just going to go drop a ward and not coming to rotate to me because she saw me on a ward. Sometimes there can be a ward just above this wall right here where I'm walking, so it's always a good idea to be really careful of a laner's movement whenever you walk past that. I'm pinging where Karthus is going to be now. My bot lane is not very susceptible to a bot lane gank, but I still want my bot lane to know that now he's on the bot side of the map. Again, I should be panning my camera here at bot lane to see what's going on. This is a big error I make, and still like one of the biggest things I'm working on as a jungler is panning my camera more to see how the lane's wave states are going. I go right from Wolves to Gromp here because this is full clear, and I really want my camps to be recycling basically one right after another. If you take blue before Gromp here, there's a time window on your next reset where your Gromp, you'll have to wait about 10 seconds before your Gromp is up. I actually decide not to go for blue here because I know Karthus is on the bot side of the map and is also going to be going for it. So I want to beat him to this scuttle, even though my clear is a little bit behind since I did take those few seconds to go check his blue side. So now that he didn't show on this scuttle, I know that he is either on that top scuttle, which doesn't really make sense, or looking for a play bot side. So now he's showing up in that bot play right there. I should be walking away from my blue right now. I kind of thought I had enough time to take it. I end up just kind of griefing anyways because I don't even get my blue because I know I have to respond to this play. Luckily, I do make it in time. The Zillion's bad and doesn't notice me getting injured by the Karthus W. So I am able to show up to this play and make a difference here. Pyke lands a really awesome Q over the wall. I didn't really want to commit too hard to that Kaisa just to be running through Karthus's pool W. I don't play Karthus. I think that's his W that was running. His big spooky pool. I didn't want that. So now I just go back to taking blue, and now I have a really nice first reset. So now I'm thinking about where Karthus is going next. And I know he started clearing top side down, so he's heading straight back to his Gromp. I asked for Pyke to come top side, but that's kind of over ambitious of me because I know Pyke is very low HP. Also, Karthus died quite a while ago, so it's honestly not very good of me anyways to even go for this. I am spam pinging my top laner to let him know that Karthus is going to be on this top side of the map. I also am letting him know that I do want to invade. In hindsight, I should have had a better awareness that Karthus would already be done these camps. But I thought maybe since he didn't go for Scuttle, maybe he was delayed for some reason. But he just, I guess, decided to give up the Scuttle. So now I know that I can take this second Scuttle, which is a really awesome lead for me on top of those 2 kills I picked up. And now I can just clear my top side into... So this is what I do. I just take note of my wave state. What I want to go do here is take Raptors into Krugs, into my Grubs. I do ping that I'm coming. I see that my Aatrox has TP, so I'm hoping he'll reset and TP back to lane. But since he shows that he's going to come to this now, I don't want to force him to do that. While I have a laner who's just willing to respond to this objective, I just decide to take it, even though it does fuck up my clear a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. I should be spamming my top side here just because I am a little bit worried that Karthus is trying to trade Dragon or my bot side, sorry. I thought I did spam ping Dragon here, but I guess I didn't. So now I'm going to take these Krugs. Now I start pinging Dragon. I should have been doing that earlier. I should have assumed he was already done his bot side clear and been giving my team the information. They need to maybe rotate on that or at least just be careful. Lux does have prio in this situation. Bot lane doesn't at all. They're missing. But since I'm quite sure that he is on the bot side of the map, I am looking at his blue buff right now. I really didn't want to have to respond to this play, but I felt like it was just the kind of play that if I don't, my top laner is mad. I don't think this is that great of a play for me to be responding to. I don't think there was anything here for me to do since I was level 5. I get a couple of minions for it. But since he did just come and help me with Grubs, and again, this is an Emerald game, so I'm a little bit nervous to do anything that could make my laners want to throw a temper tantrum. So sometimes you just have to babysit their mental, even if it's not the correct play. Always, I think lots of people would disagree with that, but that's what I do when I'm trying at least my hardest to win. So he still hasn't taken Dragon here, so now I'm not sure where he is. To be honest, I don't even know what he was doing in all this time. I thought for sure he was taking Dragon. So now he's finally on it. My Pyke clutches this. Karthus is hella tilted. He's probably typing slurs in chat over this one. Or his teammates are. Whichever one. So I was watching the map and I know that his Raptors were just coming up as I saw him on the Dragon. So I know he hasn't cleared those yet. So I just run straight for his Raptors. Anytime a jungler dies, you want to try and go for as much as you can. I see that it's warded and I've run past it, but I just decide not to care. I've got Q. And I think I can just get out if this Tristana decides to rotate on me. She clearly didn't even see me at all because now she just walks up. I did misplay here. I should have thrown my E to slow her. I didn't expect for some reason that she would ulti us both away, but I should have thrown my E earlier just so that I could slow her away for when she did knock us back. I do end up using my sum here. I just ignited her because she had that blast cone and I didn't really want her to end up getting away and have us lose vision of her. I felt like I had already committed so much time to this play and walked away from my camps when I did want to be clearing, full clearing all the way up here for this kill. So I just decided to use ignite just to make sure we could keep track of here. So now at this point, I've kind of lost track of Karthus, but I was pretty sure he was on his blue side back to clearing down. I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, now I'm pinging my Aatrox because I am nervous this Karthus is going to show up to this gank. I come to hover for the counter gank. Decide to recall, but then I also just decide to check this Scuttle to make sure. He hadn't taken it, which I don't know. This Karthus was just allergic to Scuttles, I guess. He just had a lot of opportunities for free ones and decided not to. So I pick up another Scuttle here. At this point, I check my Grubs timer and they're up soon enough that I don't really want to go back to my bot side. I want to try and deny Nasus and Tristana the Grubs, especially since we have the top lane pressure. I do kind of ping to pressure top lane, but we're not going to get a dive here. So I just go check out his camps. I'm kind of just wasting time here at this point. Look for maybe a play, a pick on this guy if maybe he walks up far enough. I really am just kind of killing time waiting for this Grubs timer because I don't want to go back bot side. In hindsight, I probably could have just reset and spent my gold and then came for this play, but I didn't. Now that Karthus is not showing on this side of the map, I know he's heading bot side. I am start to ping my top side, or sorry, my bot side jungle, because I'm trying to help my team find Karthus, and I assume he's trading my bot side. If he's a good jungler, he should be trying to trade my bot side here, but he's not. This Karthus just kind of rolled over and took it this game, so we love that. And we just try to capitalize on that as much as possible. Tristana does come here. I just ulti, make sure. I just don't want to waste time here, especially since Tristana has her bomb. I find a lot of the time, like, if I try to clutch my ulti around champions like Tristana or Kai'Sa, it gets a lot harder because they always know who your ulti is. So I just full commit the ulti and kind of hope that scares her off of me, which it did. Here, I didn't get the backstab off, so this took longer to kill than it should have. I also kind of waste time just playing right around the Rosie with this Karthus, and I end up dying for it, which was honestly a misplay by me. I should have got that backstab off and then walked out sooner. I knew Aatrox was crushing his wave. I am pinging him, but honestly, he's right. He can't really walk away from his wave like that, and I end up getting my mid lane and support killed for that, so that was my bad. That was just a sad misplay, and sadly just missing that backstab kind of made a big difference there. I also just wasted a lot of time. So I see that they look like they're really overcommitting to this Aatrox, so I pop my Yomus to try to get to this play as quickly as possible. If Aatrox does win it, I know it's going to be a long play because Zillion's got ulti, and I also know that they're getting pretty greedy under the turret here, so I just try my best to show up, which I end up doing. I see Karthus, and I know Pyke is on the top side of the map, as well as we just killed their top laner, and Zillion's got no R, so I tried to force this. I got a little bit greedy here, trying to smite that Gromp away from the Karthus for the, or sorry, the blue away from Karthus for the emotional damage. It was just too tempting. So I honestly would have waited until Pyke was a little bit closer, and until I assumed he'd use more cooldowns on his Gromp. I don't actually know what Karthus cooldowns are, or if they're even like a thing, but I would have waited had I not seen that blue buff be so close to dying, and I love to inflict the emotional damage of taking jungler's buffs, so I greeted out and went for it, and again, I died for it. I died for my sins. So now at this point, I'm just full clearing down towards Dragon. This Karthus seems very passive, and I know he's behind, and he seems pretty afraid of me, so I just kind of have trust that I have time to full clear. Also, I have full mid and bot prio here. They could be on Dragon since we don't see bot lane. I haven't been watching the map at this point to know where they are, but since Jin's all the way up there, I assume they've recalled. So I'm pretty sure I have time, so I just make sure to get my top side off the map. I think a big mistake I've been making for most of this split is not prioritizing clear, and I think it's really important in this meta. Now I'm pinging Dragon. I want my team to be aware that Karthus could be on it. I decide to skip my bot side camps because they're easy to come back to. Now that I'm on this quadrant of the map, I go try to secure Scuttle just to make sure I have enough vision of the pit so I can go back and safely take my camps, because I feel pretty good about the fact that we're going to get this Dragon. So I would rather be taking this Dragon when all my gold is off the map as opposed to leaving my camps up while I spend the time taking a Dragon. I'm just full clean here again. I see now that they're collapsing on my bot lane, so I don't waste any more time going for more camps. I start heading towards them so that I can counter gank if they overcommit to this. It looks like they're not, so now I want to head back to my camps. I see Karthus use ulti, so now I immediately know we have an advantage in this fight, as well as Lux has pushed in mid lane. So we have a really good advantage in this fight. Tristana is losing waves right here. Even if we just dance around here and just don't waste time, it's really good because Tristana's losing so much gold mid lane right now. I do go for this Zillion. I think he's easily pickable here. At least we get the ulti and then have a better chance at securing this dragon, which is exactly what ends up happening. Now that we've killed Zillion, Karthus ulti's down, I feel really good about our chances of getting this dragon. I do want to pull it out. I just decide to ult here. I I'm not sure if it's a good ulti. If you're playing AP Shaco, it's always good to ulti every single time, in my opinion, for objectives, but it is on a much longer cooldown as AD Shaco, and it's much more important to getting out of bad situations with as AD Shaco. So I don't know, since I had everybody hitting it, if I should, but I kind of felt like time is of the essence there. I just wanted to get it off the map as quickly as possible, and I knew I just was going to head back to full clearing and then looking for that the Herald. The Rift. I don't know why. I just could not remember what that thing was called. The Rift Herald. Okay, so I'm pinging that this is what I'm looking for. Aatrox goes towards it, and Karthus was on it, which is awesome. He kills Karthus. I decided I want to look for another pick here. I feel like I can pick this Tristana. So perfect. I get the pick, and now that unlocks Herald for us even better because we have full prio top here. Karthus is dead. Mid lane's dead. This should be our dragon. Since it doesn't look like anybody's coming and I don't have ulti though, I decided to go take a camp first so that while this Scuttle Crab respawns, I just want to be always trying to make as much gold as possible. Especially on AD Shaco, you fall off hard if you stop farming. So I'm just really trying to stay as ahead as possible. If my teammates aren't going to come to objective, I'm not going to spend the time on it, especially when I don't have R, and it's just going to be a very slow going objective. We tried to force this really hard. Honestly, as soon as he popped Ghost, I should have just walked away here and tried to go secure this Herald. We ping Karthus, but we see he immediately is just heading to the bot side. He clearly has no intention of trying to stop us at all. I know my bot lane is really ahead, so I do ping maybe assistance on his red, hoping maybe they can just invade him again. Champions like Karthus, you want to try and break their spirit as quickly as possible because you know they're just going to be a late game menace. So you want to just try and ruin them as much as you can. Any way you can. Make them take you in all directions. We secured the Herald. I did ping for my top laner to come take Herald. I would rather he be pressuring on the other side of the map. Looks like Nasus has no intention of pushing up, so I just go back and start clearing my bot side camps. So not really a lot happens here. I kind of just clear my bot quadrant. I'm keeping an eye on my Jhin, who is pretty overextended. Honestly, I should be pinging him and even panning down to him, but I'm just kind of watching. It looks like he's out of there. Also, I should be checking out mid lane to see what's happening there, what cooldowns are being used or anything, but this is my... Now it looks like Kai'Sa's getting really aggressive on this Jhin. I do feel like I can make a pick here, so I do decide to go for it instead of heading right to my top side. It's unfortunate I played this pretty poorly. I shouldn't have ultied there. I think the second I took to ulti actually is what cost my Jhin his life. So I played this play poorly, even though I think it was a good play to rotate to. My micro mistake cost that shutdown, which... luckily, we're really ahead. Isn't too big of a deal, but definitely can be a big deal and definitely works up. Since bot lane is dead, we're kind of like this lull here. I decided to push another wave for somebody to have to come to the bot lane to respond to this. And now I want to head to the top side. So I know third dragon is coming up in 1 minute, but I'm also going to be on the top side of the map, and Baron is up here as well. This is one of my favorite situations in the game that I personally have a lot of fun with because you know that all of the enemy is thinking about trying to deny you that third dragon. And they think that that's what you're really focused on. And so if you have a jungler who's really good at taking Baron, I really like to try and force a trade here. Usually, especially with the timers, usually by the time you get onto Baron, the enemy team can't even tell. Shaco's so good at taking it. So I've already started communicating this with my team. This is awesome. I honestly have a hard time sometimes in Emerald getting my teammates to commit to a play like this, but honestly, they're all down for it. Jhin is bot lane, which is another reason why it's perfect because they're really not likely to expect that we're on Baron with the ADC bot lane and third dragon coming up. So as you can see, Tristana's not moving. We see Zilean bot lane. Literally nobody's moving, so this is just a free Baron for us. Now, I just decided to head straight to back to Dragon because it was actually staggered so perfectly apart that I have enough time. I realized that I don't really need to reset, so I'm not sure why I'm resetting for 700 gold at this point in the game. I third Tristan a little bit, get her W out, and head down towards this scuttle now to try and take vision control of the river. I don't know what this team was doing because I thought they had bot lane in order to take full control of the pit, but we just walked right in and did it. So I don't really know what this team is doing. I kind of almost troll here. I'm not even sure why I am forcing this play, because what I was thinking here is that Karthus doesn't have flash, so I thought the only way he was going to get into this pit was if there was a blast cone, so I was planning on queuing over the wall in order to hit that blast cone, but honestly with Zilean and Karthus, I almost just inted it, so don't mind that play. Now I have Baron, and now I just go back to grabbing these camps. I'm just trying to farm out my BF sword since I am building a collector next. I know my top's on reset. Jin's a little bit pushed. I am a little bit scared of Jin. I do think it's actually good for me to be hovering my teammates here, but I kind of feel like there's a reset time, or at least there should be. Pyke starts taking mid lane, and Jin's pressuring bot lane, so I just come to try to hover this now with our Baron buff. At this point, with this much control pushed up, you just kind of want to keep rotating between lanes and just taking as much of their jungle as you can since you have your teammates so pushed up. Pyke has reset now, so I want to be careful. I come over to this bot lane play to hover them, but once I kind of sit here for a minute and realize that it doesn't look like they're going to do much, I decide to actually just go pressure mid instead and hope that my Lux and Jin are capable enough to not get turbo engaged on. So far, they've shown quite positive things in terms of their IQ and awareness. So I have trust in them to just do their best bot lane, and I just come mid. Since I see Karthus sticking around top lane somewhere, I don't know, I assume he's given up or something. So I just decide to pop ulti in order to get this turret. Now we have double Nexus down. Despite his griefing top lane, it does seem like they're back and trying to contest this Nexus now. So rather than overstaying, I just want to leave. I just ping my teammates back. We got a double inhib. I have a lot of gold. I do want to try and deny as much on my way out as possible. We did just take double inhib, so that's always a good place to be aware that while you're in a really good spot to win the game, you're also in a really good spot to throw the game. So it's always really good. I think once you're kind of at this point in the game, you have a lot of inhibs to really still keep trying to focus on keeping as much gold out of their pockets as you can, because they're already getting so much. And this is where I really think it's really beneficial to start kind of controlling your team, kind of giving them more directions, because I find they really need them. And I can't tell you how many games I've seen lots just because everybody just thinks it's over. Here I'm pretty sure he's resetting, so I just decide to go for a little pick here. I grab it, and it just so happens that's the perfect amount of gold to get me my collector that I was missing. So I do see this play happening. I decide to push mid here, and then this play is going on for so long that I just decide to start rotating to it. I am sitting on a fuck ton of gold right now, but also I'm still so ahead that even with the gold in my pocket, I'm still like quite an impactful player here. I do manage to get this kill from Zilean because I decided to rotate from it. I think he might have gotten away otherwise. Now at this point, since 4 are dead, even though I'm sitting on 3,100 gold, I just decide to keep pushing because, you know what, why not? We're already here, may as well take that turret and keep trying to just push this lead as hard as we can. While I'm waiting for the wave, I hop over and grab this Gromp. There's no point in us sitting there. Try to go grab wolves as well. I'm pretty sure my support and mid laner have that turret. Here I'm just pinging my gold and just pinging them to recall. I do consider for a second running over to Karthus' red side just to deny it, since I don't think he's leaving his base. But since I've just got so much gold and I've got all of my red side up, and I just decide to just get a reset off and trying to push out this lead. If I did somehow get caught in their jungle with that much gold, it would have been a really big throw like I was just talking about. So I just decided to play this best and safe as possible. Go spend my money and then just regroup on the map as quickly as possible. Here I think I actually should have just skipped my Krugs and just grabbed red right away and just head right towards my teammates. I know we have Soul coming up, and then all we need is bot lane. So I'm not going to get any stronger off these camps really in terms of itemization before Dragon. So I think it would have been okay to go group with my teammate. But also, honestly, watching it back again, I think full clearing down towards Dragon is an okay play as well. Since I see this, I see my Aatrox is overextended, and I know this is the only play they really have to make. I start walking down to this because this is where I think the enemy is going to be. I'll just jump right over, and I'm hoping I can just blow up this Zillion before he even gets ulti off, which I managed to end up doing. Send my clone into the Karthus, who is ulting. And just like that, we won the game. I think the biggest thing that made this game such a stomp was always trying to track Karthus for my laners. They were often able to catch him out and pick him in places just because I was tracking him. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This was my first ever game recording. I actually had a lot of fun doing that. I felt like it helped me focus. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. And if you guys, I hope you guys can take something away from this. If I made any mistakes, let me know.